Hello guys, welcome back to Callyalater podcast, episode number 39. Oh, it just keeps getting, it feels like we're getting higher and higher every time.
We're getting closer to 52.
We are pushing up on the year mark.
Which is a goal.
A goal.
Yes.
Yes, we'll get there.
Okay, well, anyway.
Hi guys. Hi. My name's John.
And I'm Kelly.
Hi.
We are both college students and welcome to our podcast,
Yeah.
Callyalater.
Welcome here for the first time if you're here for the first time. Welcome back if you're, or welcome back if you're not new.
Yeah, there you go, yeah. You guys should definitely hit the subscribe button, follow our podcast, follow our social medias, just plug.
Plug.
But today...
We're talking about our semester wrap up. It's over. We're done, kind of. We're
like,
3 out of 4.
Oh my gosh, it's great.
3 out of 4.
We
We're
have
almost
like
there.
2 more finals left.
I know, it's amazing.
But other than that, we're like almost done. So by the time this podcast goes up,
we'll be done.
We'll be done. So
we're wrapping up the semester today.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking all about the highs and lows of this previous semester, our thoughts on online classes, and what we're looking forward to next semester.
And last week we talked about winter date ideas.
Yes, you guys should definitely go check that episode out. It's really good. We
Killer.
share tons of ideas.
It was a great episode.
And we also share ideas like if you're going into lockdown, like things to do in the wintertime during lockdown. So it's very helpful if you guys are dating and need some ideas on what to do.
Yeah.
So should I like say our little disclaimer?
Yeah.
So I don't really know if this one's a disclaimer as much, but you have to stay tuned because we have a big announcement at the end of this video.
Yes. Make sure you check out. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Keep
Listen
watching,
through.
Keep listening.
Yes.
So highs and lows. Do you want to start us off with some of your highs?
Absolutely. We have made it through the semester. That was like the big one. Like we have made it through our 3rd semester. We are on to the last one and we are at the light at the end of the tunnel. So that was one of the biggest highs for me, is that we're almost there, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's huge.
You want to go to the next one?
Okay, yeah. I really liked how we both had online classes. We had the same class schedule, but it's been kind of nice having online classes because only one of our classes were mandatory to meet each week. So we had a lot of free time because you just had to make sure you got your work done by its due date.
We had a lot of good free time.
It really did stink that not everything was due on the same day, like all our classes didn't coordinate, but it was nice because you got to create your own schedule, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah, you could do it on your own time.
So that was definitely my number 1, like, biggest high for this semester.
Nice. I think this is probably my top one. I just put it as number 2. I got to spend time with you. I got to bond with you, and you kept me sane through the semester.
Likewise.
I couldn't have done it without you.
Thankfully, like, we're so lucky that we got to schedule all our classes the exact same. We're able to, we're in the same course, like, that's how we met. But it was like that thing, like, even if it was just a friend, it was so nice to have someone like, did you understand the homework? Or you know, like, did you get this? Can you help me with this? Or I feel like if you don't know anyone going into online classes, it's gonna be rough. So hard.
But you can do it.
But you can do it. It's possible. But it was just so nice having you there.
It was nice having you there. And I feel like we really bonded this semester.
Yeah,
we learned a lot.
Oh,
Oh, we said that at the same time.
We do that a lot. My next one, and this one kind of, I think because of the pandemic, a lot of our courses weren't supposed to be online.
Okay. That
the coursework was actually easier because the professors couldn't figure out how to do it online. Which is kind of pitiful. Like, I don't know, like, we're paying for it, this is what we're getting, and we're getting easy stuff. But it also was that pro, like, it was easy to pass.
It was an easy A.
Yeah.
Yeah. And my last one was I got on my fitness game to a certain extent. I know that doesn't have to relate with the semester, but it relates back to the fact that we had so much free time, we were able to work out more.
And I think that's like one of those personal, what would that be called? Like goals or achievement, like that kind of thing.
Yeah, it was a personal achievement. It was one of those things that, again, it doesn't really relate to school itself, but as far as the semester goes, I feel like this semester was one of my best ones as far as working out.
And it allowed you to have that.
The free time that it gave me, like you spoke about, it really gave me that time to get in the gym and work out with you.
My last high was I really enjoyed the classes and learned some cool things. So we took 4 classes this semester, which traditionally I always take 5, but this one we took 4 because I dropped one of them, and I think you dropped it too.
I dropped it as well, yeah.
And so next semester I'll get into that later on. But it was nice because I will say I only liked 2 of my classes this semester, but the 2 that I liked, I really, really liked.
I was the same way. I really did enjoy 2 of the classes. Really enjoyed one of them. Really enjoyed another one, and then didn't like 2 of them.
Yeah, so it was like it was, granted I didn't like 2 of them, but having the ones that I did like made it
was a nice breath of fresh air.
It was kind of like, oh, I am learning something, and it was kind of stuff that I can use for myself in the future. That made it really
it's a skill
helpful.
that you pick up that you can use forever.
Definitely. So, do you have any lows?
I have 3 lows. Yeah, you want to start us out on this one?
Because we're like, there's a lot of like. We didn't want
to rant too much.
Yeah. So, I don't want to like throw shade by saying this, and again, I understand a lot of times professors are taught, and like this is so unexpected, and taught to teach in person, not online, unless that's what they signed up for, and they weren't really signed up for it this year. But I felt like a lot of the professors seemed very unprofessional and unprepared with online classes.
There were 2 in particular that we can think of.
I'm not trying to be like throwing shade about it. Like, I understand it's been a hard switch for all of us, but I feel like they had such high standards for the students, yet they didn't like meet those standards for themselves, which made it hard to take their courses serious.
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely true. I mean, I put that kind of something similar that down for number 3. It felt like since they didn't put the effort in, it made me feel like I shouldn't put the effort back in, which made me feel like I got lazy with my assignments, because it wasn't that mutual effort like you usually get in person-to-person classes.
Where like, I feel like it's kind of like that thing, if you start slacking off in in-person courses, they'll kind of call you out on it, where like they don't do that online. Which,
no, and they do, but if they do it, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And then it's kind of like one of our classes, like, again, not throwing shade, but it was like that thing where it was like you virtually met. But the first week, the teachers had their webcams on, and kind of a few students would, and then like as the weeks progressed, they just stopped altogether, and it was like, and then they would start canceling classes, which sounds nice, but then when you realize you're paying for it, and like you're supposed to be doing coursework and learning, and they're not providing that, it's kind of like, that's kind of lazy. They definitely they dropped the ball. Some of them. There was one professor that was absolutely phenomenal.
I had 2 great professors and I really enjoyed their online coursework, but it was just kind of like, I know it was thrown at them, they weren't planning for online courses, but they have to adapt just as much as we do.
Adapt, improvise, overcome.
Yeah, so that was probably my biggest low for this semester.
Yeah. So yeah, I gave my number 3, so if you want to give your next one, because mine was the same. Kind of the same.
One was, I felt like there's a lot of filler work and filler classes and busy work. So like, again,
an unbelievable amount.
Like our professors that would cancel classes, they would say like, we don't have content prepared. The semester's the same length as the previous semester. It's the same lectures they're giving us, yet they don't have it just because we're online. Like, I couldn't stand that and grasp the idea of it.
And those that try to convert the content, some of them just didn't do it well. And it was like they would just throw us a 75-page long PDF that didn't really teach us much.
So I'm just kind of like, do you have another low?
I do. And again, it kind of plays off of yours. There was a lack of communication that really just hindered the whole experience. It put a sour taste in my mouth for online classes, some of them. But some professors just kind of disappeared. And they're really good at that, and I don't like that. I
feel like a lot of people can relate to this, like the lows of it. So I don't want to be like negative saying online classes are awful, because a lot of times when you take online classes that were already online classes before the pandemic hit, those teachers who know how to do it are going to be great at it.
Like the English classes that we took, they were very easy to teach online, and I feel like both of our English classes were taught very well.
And I think too, again, the professors are adapting, where next semester, if it's online again, they'll be better at it, because they'll learn from this semester. But it just kind of stinks that we're the guinea pigs, you know, like that. We're like, oh, we'll see how this goes, you know, but it's bound to happen. It's a learning curve for all of us.
You always got to adapt to it. It's just some people put in less effort than others.
Okay, and then do you have one, or is it my turn?
Yeah, so I said I don't really feel like I learned a lot of valuable information. Like, there was one class where I really feel like I learned a lot. And every other class, for the other 3, I just kind of feel like I was just on this ride.
I think it kind of goes back to what you said, like they didn't put the effort in, so I didn't feel like we needed to put the effort in.
Like I didn't want to put in the effort to read the 75-page PDFs, because he wouldn't grade anything for 5 weeks.
Wouldn't call you out on not doing it because they didn't talk to you.
Exactly.
So it was definitely different.
Especially when with the whole debacle over not requiring webcams or microphones.
It was like you could log in and go back to sleep and they wouldn't.
It was useless. And I think that's what half the people did. Yeah. So that is the biggest complaint I probably have from the semester, is the webcam debacle.
Yeah. My last one is, and this one I think really depends on your degree. I know my brother went through it, and he was a business marketing major, and we're graphic design artists, electronic media, but still you're going to be putting group projects, and I feel like group work in school fields just is horrible to begin with, because you're like, oh, I don't like my group, or someone always does more work than the other. Online classes makes it even worse to do group work than just regular group work to begin with, which already stinks. But then you can put in groups and no one does anything, and then no one does anything, and you can't even comment back and forth. You don't at least in real person like classes, like if you get put in a group, you can find a way to contact them, whether it be Snapchat or something. You can't even find a way to contact them outside of these forms, so you can't do your work.
No, it's a vicious cycle that you get thrown into. It's terrible, and it doesn't get any better.
No.
You know, unless you're gonna have, you know, you get lucky and you get put in a group of 3 people who actually like do it.
But a lot of times it doesn't happen.
You're gonna have one person that's gonna derail the entire thing for everyone.
In-person class group work already was really bad. It just got 10 times worse.
It did. But hey, you know,
that's my last low.
We're moving on. It'll be
it is what
on
it
to
is.
next semester. So yeah, now our thoughts on online classes.
Okay.
Another section to ventilate.
I just hope this is relatable. So like if you're feeling this, like, you know, you're not alone.
Yeah.
We feel it too, you know?
Absolutely. For me, they were so hit or miss. And unfortunately, it all depends on the professor that you get. Because you can have a professor who is so well prepared for what they're coming into, and then you can have professors who just either aren't prepared because they just don't know how to do it, or they just don't care enough. And it's such a hit or miss situation.
That's so hard. As like that website, like Rate My Professor. It's great, but it only worked because people had them in person.
Yeah.
So you don't know what they're like online.
Absolutely.
That it's like the way you used to be able to like, ooh, is that professor good? I'm going to take his class. You know, like it's kind of like, ooh, I don't know. How does he teach online? You know?
Yeah, and I think I might have mentioned this in a previous episode about school, but we had one professor, and this is just a good example of it, that came into the semester saying, I have nothing prepared for this class online because it was originally taught in person. And he aced it. I mean, every week he had a video ready to go that taught us how to do every single little thing we need down to the exact specifications. It was phenomenal.
You could tell he improvised, adapted, and made it the best.
He put the effort in. He even kept on top of grades. I mean, he wasn't like the fastest, but he kept on top of things, and we knew what we needed to do.
Exactly. I really like that.
Yeah.
My first thought on it is I definitely like in-person classes way better. I think that's a lot of people will agree. It's social. You get a better understanding, and again, I feel like the professors are just a little bit more professional about how they handle everything.
I feel like it forces you to pay attention.
Yeah,
like sure, you can screw around and play on your laptop or whatever if they don't make you put it away. But you're there. You still hear them talking. You see the graphics. You physically see it, and that makes a big difference for a lot of people.
And I'm definitely one of those learners that I have to hear it, see it, and then do
way.
it. Where when I have to just read it, like I don't hear someone else talk about it. I don't really see them demonstrating it. It's just I have to like read it and then put it into thing. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You got to have the visualization of it, and it's much easier in person. So I would consider taking some of the classes again online, but not all of them. Like there are certain classes that we're coming up on that I'm just like, I couldn't do that online. And unfortunately, I think we might get forced into taking them online.
I do think a lot of the gen ed type classes are very doable online. So I say like if that saves you money too, like in the future, like after the whole pandemic and everything, by all means.
Exactly. If you're going to take it at a community college online. Exactly.
Yeah.
Quizlet.
Yes. My second one was I really did enjoy the flexibility in time, like the time management you're able to use.
Yeah, that was nice.
It. Like I wouldn't not take online classes again. It was just some classes aren't meant to be taught online, and like again, gen ed classes by all means take them online. It's so much easier. You save, you don't have to drive there and everything. So
no, you're right. The flexibility that it gave us was quite nice because we could go work out whenever we wanted.
Definitely.
Like, oh, we don't have to go to class at this time. We can just do homework whenever.
And it definitely, like, I feel like it allowed us to work out. You're allowed to have a social life because you're not always like, oh, I have class in 30 minutes. You know, like that kind of thing. But it also allowed for if you're working. Yeah, no, the work schedule as well. That's nice. I don't know about a lot of college students because I feel like a lot of times that's your college lifestyle and then you're going to go after. I get that. I respect it. But, like, we both have jobs. You know, and absolutely. It's nice because you're able to have that flexibility with your schedule. No, it's nice. You know, it definitely, that was a nice perk. It was a pro. Yeah. And then my last one was, it kind of plays off of that. It was nice to be able to do things on our own time, but it also personally taught me a lot about self-discipline, and it checked my self-discipline because you have to have the discipline to do it. Despite the fact that you have the free time, you have to have the discipline to do the work. Yeah. And I'm a huge person, like, because we would do homework together, and the first few weeks we kind of let it go until like the day before it was due. Yeah. And it was like, this is not working for me. It's getting me too stressed out. And then we started doing it the first day that it was assigned, and I instantly felt so much less stressed. But I think that really showed a lot of our self-discipline. Absolutely, I 100% agree. I really agree with that. And then my other and last thought on online classes is just like John said, some professors are better at it than others. Yeah, no, you absolutely. I mean, it sucks that that's what
could be the deciding factor as to whether your class is good or not. But unfortunately it is.
And then like, again, like I said, like the Rate My Professors website, like you probably won't know because a lot of those reviews are from previous years where it wasn't pandemic and it wasn't online.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely going to be a game changer. So hopefully people this semester will rate some professors for you.
So yeah, looking towards our final semester, what we've got coming up.
Last one.
You want to start it out?
Yeah. Okay. So this is our last semester coming up. Like we're almost done. Like you always say, the light at the end of the tunnel.
That's what I put for my number one. Yeah.
It feels so good to be done, and I'm honestly so excited for the future, what's coming after college.
Got a lot of good stuff coming.
Like it's just kind of like that. Like you're running a race and you see the finish line.
Yeah, that's exactly what I put. I said we are fastly approaching our degree. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. We're like, including break, like 21 weeks away from our degree.
Isn't that just so exciting? Oh my gosh. We're gonna pass.
We're gonna
pass. Happen. So like I mentioned earlier, next semester is going to be crazy for me. Since I dropped one of my classes this previous semester, the one that we're finishing up, I have 6 courses I have to take to graduate, so I have 18 credit hours next semester.
It's going to be a wild one.
I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, I think 3 of them are gen ed classes.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'm really good at those. I think they're very easy for me, and like one of them's like public speaking and stuff, and I'm like, I do that for my job, so it'll be totally fine.
Absolutely.
It's just a lot of work's coming my way.
It's going to be a lot of work, but it'll feel good when you're done.
Oh my gosh.
Like when you have that piece of paper in hand, it'll feel good.
Definitely.
So yeah, my number 2 was that we're likely going to have online classes next semester, so it's going to be interesting. But I'm okay with it too, but it's just going to be interesting to see how, like you said earlier, how now that professors have had a semester experience with this, how they're going to roll that into the next semester and see how they do.
I think it'll be really interesting too, because a lot of the courses we're taking, we signed up for, again, the same classes. I just have a few more than John has to take. And I think it'll be interesting because some of the professors that we had this semester that we didn't think were like the best, we have them again next semester. So it's going to be a really good judge. Like, granted, it doesn't matter, but it'll be interesting to see if they improve or if they're just going to be lazy and not take any consideration because we're allowed to leave feedback and stuff, like anonymously, like what to improve on and stuff, where it'll be interesting to see if they do take advice. And,
I hope they do.
I don't know, I think it'll be very interesting. I'm excited to see how it goes, and we'll have to keep you guys updated.
Yeah, I hope they do. I don't think they will.
I don't know, we'll have to see how it goes.
I know, we'll have to keep you guys updated and keep you posted.
Like you said, I am kind of like, I'm so on the fence. Like, I'm excited that it's going to be online classes, especially since my gen ed classes will be online then, so it'll make it a little bit easier, so I'm happy about that. But I will say, I miss seeing the people in our degree, because our degree was so small that we were like friends with everyone, that it's so weird not seeing them all the time. But I think it's also nice too, because it's like you're completely up to your own schedule.
No, it is nice. But we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was mine. I think I just like talked on your.
Yeah, no, you're good. Go for it. What's your next one?
I think my last one is next semester's classes are going to be really fun. We have a lot of electives. Like, besides my gen ed classes, I'm really excited. Like, I have photography and web design that I'm really looking forward to.
Web will be fun as well. And then I put something down similar. We have our final studio project next semester, which is a whole class in and of itself.
Like a capstone.
It's a capstone project, and it's pretty much going to determine whether we get the degree or not. Whether we learn them. I think we'll be fine. I'm not stressed about it.
I think they said, because we had class earlier today, they said like they're going to review all our work and say like if you can get the green light to go, or the yellow light, or the red light, where you fail. But I know we'll at least get the green or yellow.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's just interesting to think about how that's going to go online.
Definitely. Yeah. So that wraps up what I'm looking forward to next semester.
Same here.
All right. Yeah. So I guess it's time for our announcement.
Our big announcement. So for the next few weeks, we are going to be taking a short break from the podcast, so that way we can spend the holidays together and enjoy our time.
And I'm also doing Vlogmas over on my channel, so you'll see more of us. John's going to be on some vlogs. I
will be making some cameos in her vlogs.
It's just like doing daily videos is so stressful, but then throw the stress of the holidays on top of it and finishing up finals, because we still have like 2 big projects to finish this week that we're both like, okay, we just like something's gotta give, and we figured we'll just take a little break and come back stronger than ever. Yeah,
we're coming back on January 4th, 2021. In the new year, we'll ring in the celebration. We'll, have some poppers and some confetti and some candy.
Like, we already have some ideas going.
Yeah, it's gonna be
like
fun.
A lot of ideas that we want to do, because I think too the break will give us a lot of time to get ahead. There's things that we've been wanting to do for the channel and the podcast as is. We just like haven't had enough time to do it, being full-time students and working and everything.
So stay tuned. January 4th, 6 a.m.
So
Monday, January 4th.
Little update.
Yep, stay around, guys.
Be sure to follow us on social media. Our Instagram's Call You Later Podcast, and our personals are linked in the bio.
Check us out.
I think we might be posting I don't think we're going to be posting the socials. I'm not really sure because we have to create content.
Yeah, so we'll go through the end of this week with this podcast.
Right.
And then after that, we'll probably take a few weeks off.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we'll be back on January 4th, 2021, 6 a.m.
But our personals will still be posting and everything.
Personals
so
will
be
be
sure
around.
to check that out. We're still alive.
We're still alive. We're still alive,
We're still
guys.
going to be alive. And then our Twitter's Call You Later Pod. Just thank you so much for listening.
Yeah, thank you guys all. Side note, it's going to be number 40. It's a big episode.
Yeah.
When we come back.
We're making a big, it's going to be a big one.
It's going to be a big comeback.
It's going to be fun.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on January 4th at 6 a.m. with our 40th episode. And that wraps up this week's episode. Bye.
Call you later.
Call you later. Bye.